Howdy, my name is Darren Seibert, and I'm the Director of Faith Formation over at St. Thomas Aquinas Catholic Parish in College Station. We live in a world that is so hypersexualized that you can't watch TV or go on social media without being bombarded with sexual innuendos. So the question will naturally arise then is, how do we talk to our kids about sex? I think first is to ask yourself, are they ready? You know, recently my oldest daughter, asked me a question that was a little too heavy for her to handle right now. So I used an analogy that I heard on the radio to try to get her to understand why we couldn't talk about it yet. We went into my garage where I had my workout equipment at, and I went to a heavy weight and I asked her, hey, go pick that up. And she went over there and tried really hard, but she couldn't do it. And I said, why couldn't you pick it up, sweetie? And she says, Dad, it was just too heavy. Well, I use that as an opportunity to tell her that in the same way, there are some things right now that are a little bit too much for you. They're too heavy to talk about. But when you get older, I'll talk to you about them. In the same way that when you get older, you'll be able to pick up that weight. Well, praise God that she was okay with that answer and went on about her day. But what happens when our kids are ready and we do need to talk to them about sex? That's an opportunity for us to be able to speak truth. And one of the ways that we can do this is by looking at St. John Paul II when he wrote in his Theology of the Body, that our bodies have a language. And we all know this, that our bodies have a language, even if we don't realize it. I remember watching The Little Mermaid with my children one day, and it was a scene where Ariel's going to Ursula to ask for the potion to turn her into a human. And Ursula comes to her and says that she needs her voice. And you can see the internal struggle going on in Ariel, because she's like, well, if you don't have my voice, how am I going to communicate with Prince Eric? And Ursula says, well, you don't need to worry about that. And she begins her song telling Ariel that she has body language. So we speak with our bodies. Think if you asked me a question and I said, I didn't have to say anything, but I just told you, I don't know. I spoke to you just now, only using my body. But not only can our bodies tell truth, sometimes they can tell a lie. Think about when Judas entered the garden with Jesus and approached the Master by giving him a kiss on the cheek, an offering of goodwill and love. That was a lie. Or think of the smile we give to somebody when we're actually really hurting inside, or we have a lot of resentment and anger towards that person anyway. That's a lie. So when we have sex, we are speaking with our bodies, but we're speaking with our bodies in a much more profound and intimate way than a simple shrug of the shoulder. So what are we saying? We are saying that we are going to give ourselves to another in an incredible way, and that this is going to mimic the way that Jesus loved his church. Because that's what marriage is. Marriage is a covenant between two people that is meant to manifest how God loved the world. Well, has God loved us? How did Jesus love his church? Well, we can look at the wedding vows that I took as a manifestation of how Jesus loved the church. First, I said, the priest asked, have you come here freely to give yourself to another in marriage? That we're going to be free. Will you love and honor each other as man and wife for the rest of your lives? Will I be faithful? Have you come here holding nothing back? Holding nothing back, that you'll be total. And will you accept children lovingly from God and bring them up according to Jesus, his law, and the church, that will be fruitful? That is how Jesus loved his church. He loved it freely. He gave himself willingly. He loved it totally. He gave everything on the cross for us. He was faithful to the end and promised us that he would never leave us. And he was fruitful. He brought new life to all those who believe. We speak these wedding vows whenever we use our sexuality. So the purpose of marriage is twofold: to unify the spouses, to make them one, so that they can help one another get to heaven. My job as a husband is to help my wife get to heaven, and her job as a spouse is to help me get to heaven. And it's for the procreation of children, that we can cooperate with God to bring new life into the world. And this purpose is expressed the most profoundly, the most intimate way when we have sex. So the question is, when we are using this incredible gift of sexuality that God has given us, are we speaking the truth or are we telling a lie? I truly believe that deep down inside, all of us know that sex is holy and sacred. So for each of us, will we settle for the lie, or will we speak the truth, not only with our voices, but with our bodies? God bless.